Marcelo Mayer, shortstop, 20 years old, with the Boston Red Sox. Ross, will you break down Marcelo Mayer?
Marcelo Mayer was a top pick in the 2021 draft. He went number 4 overall. So this guy came in with a very high expectations. I wouldn't say at any point that he's been a letdown by any means, and he's been crawling up prospect lists. He started out pretty high on prospect lists to crawl up. He debuted last year in 2021 at the rookie level. He got 106 plate appearances before the season ended. Hit 275 with a 377 OBP and a 440 slugging percentage. He hit 3 home runs and he stole 7 bases. So he showed a solid bat in his debut. Nothing was spectacular. And I guess if there's going to be a gripe, that's where it's going to be. This year, he followed it up, age 19 season. He played the full season at single A and then got some time up in high A as well. So in single A, he hit 286 with a 406 OBP. The OBP really starting to shine through. Started showing a little more power with a 504 slugging percentage, 9 home runs at that level, and 16 stolen bases without getting caught.
Big deal.
Yep. He was promoted from there to high A. There, his numbers dropped slightly. I would say they remain pretty solid across the board. He hit 265 with a 379 OBP and a 449 slugging percentage, 4 more home runs and another stolen base. Again, on the season overall, caught 0 times. So his overall line looks pretty decent in 424 plate appearances. He hit 280 with a 399 OBP and a 489 slugging percentage, 13 home runs and 17 stolen bases. Remember when we were talking about Tristan Casas when we did first base rankings? I see some of that coming through right here. Just a solid performer, but nothing is really popping to me. And that's one of the things that I have as a trait or a tenet that I look for, is something that pops. Nothing here is popping. His plate discipline is solid. His bat skills are solid. His on-base skills are strong. They're probably a little above that solid level. Solid power. And he's got sneaky speed. Hasn't been caught stealing at all. If you're in a points league where you're getting knocked for caught stealings, there's maybe something there, because he seems to be very efficient on the base paths. This guy has moved into top 10 territory on major prospect lists. So it's really the same situation for me as it was with Casas. He's a very highly ranked prospect, another Red Sox, which is just coincidental. You know, while I think it's good, it's not something I'm looking to go obtain personally. What are your thoughts here, Brian?
Well, my biggest thing is right at the very beginning, we said he's 20 years old. He's 20 years old about a month ago. So he played the whole season at 19 years old. So that's single A and then high A. So all these stats are of a 19-year-old, and all of 2023 will be of a 20-year-old. And he might be in double A by the end of this season, which I think is probably a given at this point, that he'll be in double A at 20 years old all season. That's not something to shake your head at.
He might start at high A again. He'll probably play most of the season at double A. Would not surprise me in the least.
Yeah. Just right after the All-Star break is probably when he's going to be in double A. Is going to be my guess. And I think that's a really, really big indicator of something to come. If you are all in on Mayer, now would be the time to get him before it gets way too expensive. Because if he lights up double A at 20 years old, you're not getting this guy. He's going to be entrenched in everybody's minor league roster, and he's not going anywhere. So if you want to get him, you're going to have to get him right now. Am I a huge believer? Yeah, I think I am.
You said you would go get him now before the explosion. And I guess I would take a different position on that, because to me, there's just as much risk that explosion doesn't happen And if it doesn't happen, you just paid top 10 prices for a player. So I just want to see a little bit more. I'm not saying I'm off of this guy by any means. I'm just saying I want a little bit more. I want a little, I want him to show me. He comes in with scout grade equivalencies of 55 for hit, 55 for power, and 50 for speed. So slightly above average hit and power. And he draws a comp to Jason Worth. He's a guy that hit for pretty decent power, and he stole some bases, especially earlier in his career, before he got into his mid-30s, that is.
Yeah.
I mean, he was striking out at a decent clip, but he was also drawing a pretty good amount of walks. If I were to walk through his statistical production, you might think a little bit differently. For his career, which spanned 15 seasons, pretty long career.
Yeah. Most
of it with the Phillies and the Nationals. He had a career slash line of 267 with a 360 OBP and a 455 slugging percentage, 229 career home runs, and 132 career stolen bases. Didn't win any MVPs or anything like that, but he had a pretty steady career where he accumulated almost 30 wins above replacement. At his peak, he hit 36 home runs and stole 20 bases.
I don't remember him stealing bags, but that's pretty solid. It's pretty damn solid.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Yeah. One more thing I'd like to add on Marcelo Mayer is the body type. 20 years old, 6'3", 188 pounds. That was probably last year's number. He's probably closer to 200. That's a big body. It's a good body guy.
He's another one of those big top pick prospects at shortstop. So we see a lot of those come through these days.
So you are a solid wait and see. You want to see AA numbers probably.
I want to see a little bit more. I want to see the breakout before I'm buying.
Yeah.
At top 10 prices, I want to see it before I'm buying.
Okay. I say go get them.
All right.
If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and of course visit our website, scoutthestatline.com for more.